Welcome to Deeply Disturbing Things.
The podcast.
I'm Macy.
And I'm Naomi.
And I'm Sarah.
And we have Sarah virtually traveling through space and time literally right now to be here in those sunglasses. And we are three anxious counselors who like to talk about deeply disturbing things.
Let's dive into this. So this topic is a little bit traumatizing. This is part 2 from last time. Last time I did running with the bulls and just talked about.
Don't worry, you got this.
I got this.
Kind of chocolate wrapper.
Do they all have a message?
I don't know, that one
I've
did.
been just eating them and throwing the wrappers away and not reading the message
I
inside.
read the message. I also noticed the lights are on the outside.
That's beauteous.
The little details.
So last time I talked about the 8-day San Fermin Festival, which every morning they have the running of the bulls, and the 6 massive bulls, make that
And those steers.
kilometer-long sprint to the Plaza de Toros,
Ooh.
where Spain's elite bullfighters await them for an evening bullfight.
And relevant to the run is the fact that, yes, they all do have a separate thing. And this one says, when life isn't going right, go left.
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
That's cute. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I could actually apply.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was on your chocolate?
I mean, it's on my wrapper.
Chocolate wrapper?
Mm-hmm.
It's good advice.
Make a big old bowl of advice in here.
Sweet advice.
Mm.
So I have to say right off the bat, bullfighting is controversial.
Right. I'm
gonna present some differing viewpoints, and I invite our listeners to decide for themselves what they think. I don't feel here's my positionality statement. I don't feel as an outsider to the culture that I really have a vote in whether it's outlawed or not, but I could choose like if I want to go see one or not.
right. Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like I similarly, but in just a different way. I don't think people care what I think about it. That's probably it.
So here's a quote taken from an article that was recently published by Sergio Del Molino, an author who defines himself as both of the political left and anti-bullfighting, but accepted an invitation to go see a bullfight for this first time. So here's this quote. I felt very strange saying it. I resisted saying it. I thought that the disgust, the animal smell, the brutality of the right, and the closeness to blood and death would make it unbearable for me. And I did not rule out having to leave there after 10 minutes, incapable of watching more. However, I not only endured the entire bullfight, but found myself fascinated. I barely understood the ritual significance of each scene. I only know that I had been greatly affected, and in a good way. To perceive and portray it otherwise would have been hypocritical. In the eyes of my mother, this feeling made me some kind of psychopath, someone no less despicable than a proselytizer for Nazism. How can I tell her this, I thought, knowing that she would not understand me, but I could not lie to her and tell her that I had been disgusted at this animal torture show because it was simply not true. I knew that I had attended something beautiful. End of quote.
Interesting.
I really like that because it just shows an open-mindedness,
Mm-hmm.
Like we go into things with our preconceived notions, our biases, and just, being open to the experience, and turned out that they weren't horrified by it like they thought they were going to be.
Probably far more desensitized than we give ourselves credit for.
So there are many organizations against bullfighting. PETA, of course, they hate everything. But I wanted to mention a few others from around the world. The League Against Cruel Sports is a UK-based organization.
Okay.
And the Humane Society Internationale. And the CAS International, which is the Comité Anti-Stierenvechten, which is a Dutch anti-bullfighting organization.
Aww.
Stierenvechten.
Stierenvechten.
Bullfighting in Dutch. Comité anti-steering
I have an
vection.
employee who's Dutch. Small world.
My brother-in-law is Dutch.
I mean, it's a really big world and that really has no connection whatsoever.
They're so Dutch.
Dutch.
They wore those Dutch shoes when they got married. Those wooden
Mhm.
things.
Clogs?
Yeah. These are like clog extraordinaire.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not the kind of clogs that people wear, when they have like a job where they have to be on their feet all day.
Right,
These
right.
are like wooden boats.
When I was a kid, I got to meet quite a few Dutch people, and it was interesting, or people who are Dutch background. Like the accent was actually the ones who, because they were attending college in the United States, so they spoke English, but like the accent was so heavy that honestly that was really challenging for me to keep up with, which I wouldn't have known honestly. A Dutch accent even sounded like,
Sounds Dutch.
nor will I ever replicate it. In case you wanted to hear.
I wonder how similar the like bullfighting is to observing a rodeo or going to a rodeo. Have you guys been to one of those?
I've been to, so I used to do barrel racing, so I went to rodeos.
Oh, okay.
You want to weigh in on
Yeah.
the questions?
I mean, sorry, what was the first part?
I guess just, I mean, I would
There's a
think
question
that
there, Macy.
watching the bullfights would be a similar feeling to watching a rodeo where, I mean, but I think, yeah, it's definitely more deadly. I don't know if they fight bull to the death or how it works. I'm sure you're going to tell us, but yeah, just where it's fun, but there's also this
It's the
element of
same
like,
kind of man against beast kind of thing.
Yeah, the only part that I would say that,
I'm drinking mine too fast.
yeah, you are.
Luckily, I brought a
This is
backup.
not orange juice in here.
and you have mine.
This is not a mimosa.
It's like a mimosa.
It's a mini mosa.
Sans orange
Sans
juice.
orange juice. It's straight alcohol. So, I would say that the many that I've been to, one, there's a lot of different events that happen. I mean, and most of them, again, I think there's like that cultural piece to it, even like in that, I would say like more agricultural, like roping calves and things like that.
Yeah.
Like there's like a historical reference there that's happening and being kind of played out. And like none of them are seriously injured. The bucking one.
Well, they're the bull riding, right?
Bull riding, thank you.
Bull riding.
The bucking one.
The bucking, it's been a while. I've been out of the scene. The bucking one, that one, like, cause they cinch up around the bull's groin, and so they come out pissed, obviously, and they're all prepped and ready and like prime bulls. But I honestly found more like, yeah, like when the person got bucked off.
You were
really
rooting for the
fast.
bull.
Right, but if
Probably-
they made it,
We
they
should
full
probably
time
say
now.
we are Tauruses, so we are a little bit biased
That's
towards the
true.
bull.
I do have to say that the person who did make it for a long time, you're like, wow, like good job, because like most of them don't. It's hard.
Yeah.
So it's like the few that make it, you're like, okay, they earned it. And then the other ones, you're like, good, F you, that poor crotch. How crotch. Lives matter too.
Yeah, when I first moved up to this region,
Not a crotch region. Debatable.
it was like my first exposure to that kind of stuff, and I saw it evolve from when I first came up here in the 90s. Like they started wearing, because people, I think somebody had broke their back and got paralyzed, so they started wearing like the top vests, for safety. They didn't have that when I first moved up here. It was all you and your Wranglers.
Yeah, no,
And helmet, right? Don't they wear helmets too? No, I think they wear helmets.
I've never seen the helmets, but I did
Just
start
their
seeing them
cowboy
wear
hats?
like this, kind of like a back brace, sort of,
Yeah, it's like a little
where it helps
almost
you.
like a Kevlar, but not.
Sort of, yeah, like a motorcycle-y ridey thing.
I think it's so if you do get stabbed by a horn, it doesn't.
Or stepped on, or
I've seen you get stepped on like that, like, and it's like and then you're like the rodeo clowns are interesting.
they're the real heroes of the show.
They honestly
TBH.
bother me, but yeah.
Well, but they have an important job
They
to
do.
distract the bull if
Right.
a rider's
And
down.
be generally annoying the whole rest of the time.
Yeah. That'll be my retirement job. Rodeo clown. Did y'all ever see Baskets with Zach Galifianakis?
I love.
No.
Calvin Adams.
He played a rodeo clown. Baskets.
Oh my gosh, I love that guy.
But-
I've
Huh.
not seen the movie though.
It's a series called
Oh, series?
Baskets.
Okay.
That's its name, Baskets.
So my dad's retirement job, which I don't know why this hasn't kicked in yet, Dad. He two things. One, he wanted to either be a school bus driver. He said that'd be pretty
Sounds
easy
like
job,
hell.
or
Okay.
part-time school bus driver, part-time.
Sounds like half hell.
Or homeless under a bridge.
Is that a paying job?
He never did paying for either of them, honestly. So
Well, I know the bus gigs do pay, but I don't think the bridge gig pays.
yeah, I think he probably doesn't know enough about the school system to understand that driving the school bus would be horrible.
Oh, I would not enjoy it.
No, children on the bus, you're not a real person.
I used to work for a chain of famous daycares. I will not mention the name,
Really?
but I had to drive the 15
I
passenger
know.
van to pick up the kids at the schools, and I hated it. It was so much
I just
pressure.
constantly learn something new, but I've known you for over what, 12, 13 years
A
now.
lot of years, 13, 14
And I never knew
almost.
about this bus driving of children job.
It was hell, that's all I have to say.
I
I
was
was overworked
stressed.
and underpaid, and I had
Traumatized,
to
never come up
I had to
before.
install my own chains on that MFR, and I
Oh my
hate
gosh.
installing chains.
That's almost as bad as
It's
having
horrible.
to fill the summer the summer vans with gas. Especially when it was the group before that did not put the gas in their vehicle.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say. Is that stressed me out when I had to drive the kids for the summer group and
Yeah.
all
That
those
actually did
kids in the
not
van.
bother me. That didn't bother me at all. I liked driving in the van because then I didn't have to.
Did you like it when
manage
it
the
got
kids.
speed wobbles over 50 miles an hour? I didn't.
I didn't go over 50 miles an hour because we're not on the freeway. What are
Well,
you doing? Why are
We
you?
made
I
outage.
I hated being in the back of the van too and trapped back there with the
No,
kid.
that was my
The
like,
best
it was
the
always
best
put in
seat is the
very back.
passenger. I like being the
Yeah.
passenger.
Yes, the navigator. I created my own role.
Yeah.
I'm like, this job needs a navigator.
And that-
Someone sits
Yeah.
right next to the driver and gives directions.
And that's how I became
Yes,
a navigator
I like
on
that.
the drives for Derby. But I like driving because that was just the pure like I'm not pumping the gas. You do it, navigator. Oh, crisis, get back there, navigator. I need to focus.
I need my hands on the wheel, 10 and 2.
Focus.
Actually, that's outdated. Now it's 4 and 6.
I mean,
When I was coming
just-
up, it was 10 and 2, but people kept losing their arms from airbags.
Wait, so now it's
4 and 6.
I did not know that. I know. I'm like trying to
10
think.
and 2 up here, 4 and 6 down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's 4 and 6 now.
is it because that maybe steering wheels have gotten smaller?
No, it's because people had their arms ripped off from the airbags.
People don't drive 10 and 2 anyways. What do they know?
No, but they
People get their-
used to be the
People do
recommended.
not get their arms ripped off. I've
Yes, they
never
do.
heard that. in
Well,
my
it's gonna be
life.
my next topic.
Oh my
Is
gosh.
that when I get called on the carpet, I come to deliver.
But like when an accident happens, like your arms get ripped, they're not velcroed on, they're not taped, your hands aren't taped.
Have you ever had an airplane deploy?
No.
People get decapitated and their arms ripped off.
I mean, it seems like the opposite
this is-
of what an airbag.
Spoiler
supposed to
alert
do.
for my future topic. So
Okay, all right.
let's get back
You
on
seem
track.
genuinely pissed off, so I'm gonna allow
Well, I have a lot of feelings about 10 and 2 versus 4 and
it.
6.
Okay, I have none.
So
I'm neutral on that.
I'm not invested at all, but I like to rile you up.
come back in January for the how that plays out. So in 2010, Catalonia, an autonomous region in northeastern Spain, banned bullfighting. At that time, polling showed that 60% of Spaniards said they didn't like bullfighting, but 50% also said they opposed the ban because it was a rejection of Spanish tradition. So that's really important. This is a practice that's steeped in cultural history. So in 2016, Spain's constitutional court overturned the ban on bullfighting, declaring it unconstitutional. So
Interesting.
it is still illegal. So a lot of it is because, they want to keep Spanish tradition alive.
Are you okay if I look up the picture of me in front of the bull arena? to show you.
Yeah. How does bullfighting work? Y'all want to know?
I do. I
Yeah.
never actually see it happen, so I'm curious.
Okay, so I tried for the sake of research to watch one, like a real one.
Are they online?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch online.
Okay.
I couldn't. I had to stop watching it. But that's just me, I'm not part of this culture. And I just couldn't do it. Where is that at?
This is in
Spain?
it's in Spain, yeah. So there's I forget what the name of this town is, but originally you're staying in Rota, but there's Sarah, running.
Mm.
But
Oh, cute.
I'm right outside the building behind us is the bullfighting arena.
So you
That's
see
fun.
how steeped in tradition
Yeah,
the
and
bulls are?
that I very
in
clearly
Spain?
am. There was very few people.
Will you send that to me? If you're
Yeah.
a Patreon, you'll get to see it.
Yeah.
Why did you have to stop watching, or why did you feel like you
It was
couldn't
just
finish
too much
watching?
for me. It was upsetting to me. It was too sad for me.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
just me,
okay.
I'm from the city.
Yeah, there's the
I don't
big
have a lot of exposure to killing animals.
the big circle domi place. That's where it would occur. That big.
See, I did not know that they actually tried to kill them. Yeah, but I guess that makes sense, is what
Yeah, not
fighting to the
try.
death.
Kill. It's-
So it's fight to the death. It's either the bull or the human. Is okay, go ahead.
Well, there are
You're
some
gonna explain it.
exceptions, which I'll share.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
Spanish bullfight has 3 senior bullfighters typically who kill 2 bulls each for 6 fights total. And so that's like the spectacle of the night. So each bullfight is divided into 3 acts or tercios, and each act is about 20 minutes. So who's
Long
who
time.
in the ring? These are the participants, and I'm just focusing on Spanish bullfighting. So there are 3 different types of participants or toreros: the matador de toros, the picador, and the banderillo. So the star is the matador, and he has this support crew, so kind of like the rodeo clowns, I guess. So there are his crew or quadrilla, and I kind of like that. I feel like we should be a quadrilla or like
Is
a
it
crew.
called like 4?
Well,
I
this is
started.
not with a Q, it's with a C.
Oh, okay. As I said, we can recruit a 4th.
I think we already have it. Like we're a quadrilla, we're a crew right now. So there's 2 picadors on horseback and 3 banderillos on foot. So before the fight, the whole crew goes into the ring. They parade in.
So that sounds similar to the bucking thing from earlier. 'Cause they-
Bull riding.
Right, because they have the clowns in there too, but they there's also people like riding on horses to like go and kind of like
Hmm.
to separate off the bull and kind of and they're very
It's
careful
like a
'cause
whole
it's-
thing.
yeah, because it's like their prized horses too, so they're not going to get their horses near the bull, but they try to like use the horses to kind of steer them away. So yeah, that just sounded familiar.
Yeah, so it's like this parade of all the participants.
Put it away from me.
So there's a presidente, who is like an official of this and doesn't go into the ring, but is really important. So he's the primary judge of the fight, and he has the power to either require what they call a defective bull to be replaced. So maybe a bull isn't showing the characteristics that they're supposed to. Can award trophies, or even, so this is that exception to the killing, even grant an exceptionally brave bull a pardon where it won't be killed.
Like the turkey on Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
I want to be that person.
The
I want that much
presidente?
power. I want to be the presidente de. You're the one that's out. I'm still halfway.
No, I want you to open it for me. Oh my gosh. Remember my grip was
Her giant
less than
thumbs
stellar.
can't open this.
My thumbs were not
Her work's not mine.
doing their part here. All right, so there's lots of other people involved, veterinarians, and so on. So the first tercio, these are the picadors. In the first act, the matador uses a really big, large yellow and fuchsia, so like one side's yellow, one side's fuchsia, cape called the capote to test out the bull and gauge his behaviors. So
Hmm.
meanwhile, the picadors are provoking the bull to charge at them on their horse. And the horses have this like protective cover, like a kind of like a shield around it.
Probably off their like breastplate.
It's like all around it though,
Mhm.
so it doesn't get its butt poked either or
Oh,
gorged,
so
if
it's
you
like
will.
a medieval times, like.
Yeah, kind of
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
I know I'd taken a picture of in Spain, they had a big like portrait of a bullfight like happen or not a bull, yeah, happening. And I remember like I took a picture because it was so like kind of horrifying, but it was like in the middle of the restaurant. It was very interesting.
It's so part of the culture. Yeah. When the bull is close enough, I got it.
I'm trying.
So here's where it starts to get upsetting.
Hmm.
So when the bull is close enough, so these are on
I did find it. You wanna see?
horseback, these are the picadors. They start sticking these like lances into the bull's shoulder muscles up here. Oh yeah.
Right,
Wow, look at those faces.
right, yeah, so this is you can literally see the lances that you're talking about. In this big picture. Just in the
Oh,
middle,
wow.
whatever, no big deal.
So the
Wow.
lances
That's
and
a cool picture.
colorful. It looks like they have some fabric over them. And they stick like a bunch of them, right? And it kind of almost looks like acupuncture a little bit, like in the bull's shoulders, except
Yeah.
it's making the bull bleed.
Yeah, it looks like you can even see the blood on this painting.
Yeah, it's making them bleed. I mean, not like to die bleed, but it's definitely bleeding because we're piercing the skin and putting it in the muscle. And what this does is it causes the bull's head to lower. So that classic like
Get low.
lowering.
Oh,
Yeah.
That you kind of view as like they're charging.
Yeah. So it weakens the bull.
So it's for appearances though.
Well, it also weakens the bull.
Okay. Well, look, and so the people that you said that are helpers, that's what these ones in the photo are, because they're like grabbing the tail, trying to pull, and then like people are horrified because the matador is actually getting gored here.
Gourd, we talked about that
Yeah,
last
so
time.
I'll send this to you too.
Okay.
Um,
It's probably by a famous artist.
I mean, maybe.
It looks famous.
Does it?
Yeah. It looks like my son just took an art class at GU and it looks like one of the paintings he had to analyze.
I don't see any signature on the front, but maybe it's on the back. Because that's where people.
So this weakening helps the matador later. All right, so that's the first act.
Okay.
Here's the second act, the second tercio. These are the banderillos. Okay, so the bull is already bleeding, weakened, has these lances sticking out of its
See,
shoulders.
that would really upset me.
yeah, me too. I'm already sad about the whole thing now.
I'm angry. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the colorful barbed sticks. So what were they putting in before? I guess the lances don't have the colors. So now in the second act, here comes the color. So more stuff is being put into the bull shoulder muscles.
Stabbed in.
This further weakens the bull and forces it to carry its head even lower.
I had no idea that this is how it goes down.
Really?
I don't like it.
No, I learned a lot. I mean, you kind of had the general idea, you see it in movies and stuff, but getting into the details, I did get kind of like I tried to watch it because I wanted to witness it, but after I started getting the stuff in the shoulders, I'm like, I can't.
Hmm.
So the president at this point is making judgments about the bravery of the bull. So a bull that's unwilling to charge is disappointing. So these bulls are bred to have these characteristics of being like a charging bull. So this is the last chance for the matador to understand the bull's tendencies before facing him one-on-one in the third act. So the third act, it's just the matador and the bull.
Okay, so like I don't even like any of that. I understand again, culturally set aside, but just
Yeah,
it's like they get some I don't know, knowledge up front
Right.
on how to like clock.
because
It's
the
like if
crew's out there.
Right, like if I got to watch, it's like a tournament for Derby. If I got to see the team skate before I had to skate them, I'm watching who I have to like.
Right, you're
what
like,
are they
watch
doing?
out for that one.
Macy go for number 11.
Yeah, exactly. Mincy was one of our closers.
Punisher.
Yeah. All right, so